Okay, guys, what's going on? Hello, hello. Oh, I didn't plug in my thing. See, there we go. All kinds of interesting things going on, right? I have my Intel already up. You guys should be excited. We can go right into it if you like. I'm interested. Let's see, what is this? Gitmo TV. This station, I don't know. Maybe it's Hashgacha Pratis. Current events 4/27/23. Devil is in the details. They show us in movies what they say the devil is in the details will look real good. They have to tell you what they are and what they do. And let me see what there's a picture of. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, yeah. All right. If you don't drink the Kool-Aid, if you drink it, don't blame others. We see what you can't. We say what you won't. Current events, devil's in the details. Hope on a rope, Satanists everywhere, how traitors and criminals end. All right. Hunters become the hunted. Penalty for high crimes, treason, crimes against humanity, no mercy, no deals. All right. So, I mean, that's what I was mentioning, that with Amalek, it says in the Old Testament that Amalek has to be completely destroyed. You can't leave any remnants of him. Like you saw after World War II, they had Operation Paperclip and they just moved these people around. They moved them a little bit. That's not the solution we're looking for. The evil has to be completely eradicated, and so that it doesn't come back. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else is here. So the boot club, they're talking about all the people, this picture of all the people that have boots. I don't know all the celebrities, so I wouldn't be able to help it. Ever wonder why the TikTok nurses are dancing while people are leaving the planet all around? Ever think they were sacrificing our loved ones for fame and money? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what they're saying. Yeah, the most shameful period in human history itself, and they have a bunch of doctors dancing. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that could be considered criminal behavior. I mean, um, we don't. I mean, I don't know what was going on in the hospitals at that time, and we had early warning. I mean, we all knew what was going down. We all, at least I knew that in Washington State they were putting people into nursing homes, and that was part of the plan. I mean, it seemed like they were hiding in plain sight once again. People knew what was going down and they went with it. So this time, saying I was just following orders will not be a reasonable excuse, because everybody had to have known what was going down. I think that. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, I'm sorry to go right into this. I'm just dancing with the devil. Yeah. I heard they took out the last DU in the country U. What is a DU? Facebook page. I tagged you some pictures. Okay, I'll check it out. Major mid. You Yeah, you can. Yeah, there. I mean, the dudes love to take people off planet, man. They love to make us less populated here. You saw the Georgia Guidestones. That was their whole thing, is to reduce the population by, I think it was close to 95%. That's what I remember. Like, kill 95% of the people, and then they wouldn't have to pay their pensions. I mean, this is how the dudes think. They're not really touchy feely loving kinds of beings. They're worried about their their own particular financial assets. The 45th president of the United States is going to speak in New Hampshire today. They're saying that Michael Pence has personally helped with the removal of 54 little ones from the planet. That's a pretty big accusation, and I don't know, but I don't say it's not possible. It's definitely within the realm of possibility, given the information that's coming out now. I mean, it's yeah. So expose the Arnold Schwarzenegger says JB will easily beat Mr. T in 2024. It's sad to see that the GOP couldn't come up with new talent, with a new face. That is a reasonably smart, intelligent person. That's coming from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger is accusing somebody of not being intelligent. That's interesting, right? I guess Arnold thinks an 8-year-old with dementia. I mean, these people they're pretty obvious. Um, Oh, clones. Oh, so they're saying that clones get really stupid after 3 years. That's why they have to get an exchange. So maybe his batteries are running out of energy. Could be. Um, there's All right. I'm going to go to another channel because this is a little bit down and dirty for our exalted family. Let's go back to something with a little more of a global 40,000 foot view of things. Yeah, I want to just say, I want to just briefly go. I want to look at these pictures here. This is way up on the scale, but the pictures of this guy who is called Tucker Carlson is there are many faces, man. I mean, this cannot be the same guy. Is it also Rachel Maddow? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, nothing would surprise me anymore. I mean, we have such a small, verifiable way of looking at, a verified way to look at reality, to say this is true and this is not true. I mean, I don't think CNN. I don't know if they're capable of saying the truth. I'm not sure. That's in their doctrine. Um, and I mean, I'm talking this morning with a person who I'm related to and who's on the other side, and he's just like, he's business as usual. It's just like, it's the Russians, it's the Russians. I'm like, really? Is that, this is a guy who's like on the inside track of everything, and he's still saying, it's the Russians. I don't know. I don't know where these people. I don't understand our whole conception of reality as being a fixed like a thing, like a real thing. Like, reality is, this fact, and then this happened, and this happened, and this king went down, and this queen became elected. I mean, this whole linear version of reality, of our history and of reality, is a fantasy At best, it's not even a fantasy. It's a film script that's written by some very poor, um, screenwriters. So okay, so breaking U.S. the country U, from the New York Times. I mean, does the New York Times have any credibility? Do they have any shaykhis, any connection to reality? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I know, my father used to read the New York Times religiously every day, and he swore by it. But to think that it's just, a very well, packed presented, a very well presented pack of lies. I mean, that's really what reality is for the elites. The New York Times is reality. So for now that we're finding out that it's completely fictitious matrix of elite ideas and lies, how does this constitute reality in any shape or form? It's merely a fantasy that the elites have, that this is what's really happening at any given moment. That you can look into the New York Times, you could check out the arts and leisure section and figure out like the cultural milieu of the day or whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's insane, really. It's criminally insane. And we thought, you might think, or one might think, well, they just don't, they're in like slightly different world. No, they're doing this on purpose to deceive humanity, to take the kids, to take the goods, to take the gold, to take to get all the stock tips. I mean, it's insane. Okay, so residents jump from a building after it's engulfed in a fireball infernal, an 8-story apartment complex in the city of Tizmir, Turkey, with reports of some residents jumping. Yeah, yeah. Kash Patel, HB will be indicted. DS avalanche and overthrow. Rule of law must be followed. This innovative fan keeps you cool. Okay, that's something else. But Kash Patel is saying, man, there has to be rules. There have to be godly rules on the planet. That's the way God set this place up. But they take the rules and they make them into satanic, confusing, chaotic, despotic rules where you go into court and you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, in my court case against the Department of Education, it's a slam dunk. They know they violated the Constitution, so why don't they pay? They don't have to. They can they can appeal it. They don't have to pay. They don't feel like it. Really, that's justice? That's called justice? I don't know. I mean, the bar, the whole legal framework is a satanic construct, and this is how we live. This is what we depend on for justice in our world. A bunch of guys in black robes who have sworn to uphold the satanic way of life through this insanely barbaric Babylonian Babel nonsense called law. But anyway, Nasara. The good news is Nasara Jassara is coming along, and all these guys will be retrained or repositioned. They'll either be in Gitmo or they'll be in class, but they will understand what constitutional and godly justice is at the end of the day, I believe. U.S. warplanes with bunker-busting bombs in message to Iran. I mean, hello, you just sent them pallets of cash. I mean, does any of this make sense? Two administrations ago, we sent them pallets of cash, and now we want to blow them up. And this whole construct that there's a major war between Iran and Israel. It's just it's an utter fantasy. It's the intelligence operations deciding on what's real and what's not. There's no beef between the Iranian people and the Jewish people. It's the elites. It's this shell game where they say, "Oh, look over here." Meanwhile, they're playing. They're taking the gold from here. They take the cash from here. They put it over here. And they have their stock exchange, and they finance the country and then it all ends up back in their pockets, in Nancy Pelosi's pocket. Back in, she gets to buy her fancy ice cream. Yeah, I mean that could be a whole new thing here. I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but it could be a whole new thing in the United States. Let them eat ice cream. A new slogan, right, from Nancy Pelosi's mouth. Let them eat ice. It's not even Nancy Pelosi. She was taking. I'm sure she was taking it. The actor they have playing her doesn't even like resemble her really. I mean, doesn't have her the same, evil demonic movements. I mean, either does JB. I mean, JB looks like a puppy dog, man, compared to the real JB, the real Wile E. Coyote Brandon. That the real dude that used to hang out with OB and BO or whatever his name is, and plot the destruction of mankind and be while slipping billions of dollars into their own pockets. I mean, that guy was taken out, I'm sure, a long time ago, because the puppy dog that you see is just kind of wandering around on stage. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger's clone doesn't seem to be that concerned about that. So, whatever. I mean, it's just a funny world. It's just a shell game, and they're like, don't look over there. Meanwhile, they're putting they're moving the pieces under the coconut shell. It's like, whoop, there goes the gold. Whoa, look over there. Hey, let's look at Tucker Carlson this week. Let's figure out Tucker Carlson. What's really happening here? Let's look over there and not at the billions of dollars going to Ukraine, the trafficking of and all this stuff on the border. Yeah, let's keep our eyes on the prize. We got ice cream, man. Let them eat ice cream. We got ball games to watch. We got movies to check out. I mean, I have stuff to do with my life. I'm an important dude, man. I gotta watch a movie every Friday night. Actually, I don't. I haven't watched movies in 30 years, and that was the best thing I ever did. I mean, I've watched a few when I was a school teacher. Occasionally, I'd have to play a movie, but not watching movies, not watching TV, and getting to have my own reality. What a concept. You mean not to watch the television and do stuff, really have a life? Not just a virtual life, like where I get to watch somebody else having an adventure, Wow, he's climbing Mount Everest, he's hanging by, I'm scared, but I'm sitting on my couch at home. I mean, where's that at? Where is that fantasy world at? It leads to people that don't see what's right in front of their faces in terms of trafficking, in terms of laundering, in terms of corruption at the highest levels of our matrix society. We're busy, man. I got a movie to watch. I don't have, I'm going fishing. I'm going to a ball. I want to watch the ball game on TV. Politics, I don't know. I don't do that. I don't go there. I'm busy. I'm an important guy, man. I got to drink a beer. I got stuff to do. I want to go out with my girlfriend too for a nice meal. So, we don't have time to examine the structure of reality and realize that it's complete phony, fake, false, as David from X22 would say. Dave, my buddy Dave, he's apparently getting pretty heavy duty on his broadcast. I used to depend on him for bolstering my reality. I haven't listened to him probably over a year, but he's on the money, man. I mean, if you're just new to this thought stream, to our way of thinking, check out the X22 report, man. It's dynamite. But I mean, after a while, you might get like me. I'm just like, okay, man, I can't. I've heard it. I heard it hundreds of times. I think, because I watched it for years. I listened to it for years. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about pizza. Let's talk about pizza briefly because this is coming up. I see, and I put it in the title, and I want to get back to the idea of Tucker, man, of Tucker. I just want to briefly say that it seems very clear to me that first of all, that one person cannot have like 15 different faces. It doesn't really, one's fat, one's skinny, one's round. People aren't, cannot change that fast. So something is going on here, it makes you think like, wow, man, maybe I should put the cherry vanilla, chocolate chip extravaganza uh, autographed copy of Nancy's ice cream to the side, and pay attention to what I think could be going on here. And I think what's really going on is that could be. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying this is a fact, and I don't want to be quoted on, but it could be that old man Tuck, he liked pizza a little too much, and that's why Mr. T comes out eating pizza, right? You know, why would the richest guy in the world eat a slice of pizza? I mean, it's good stuff, but I mean, you know, a nice piece of brie, maybe, a some really good Swiss cheese. I mean, a pizza, really. I think he was trying to tell us something, and I think that a lot of these bad boys probably from so right, so we were waiting for the last stage of the war. What is the last stage of the war? We have to take out the propaganda wing. We have to destroy Gug and Magog, Google and Microsoft or Metaverse, whatever it is, right? We have to win the war. So these people are being removed from their positions of power. Don and Tucker, these were probably people who were not, if they're in the mainstream media to begin with, they're all related to people in the intelligence agencies. You've seen the comms from our good friend Letter 17. He showed you they're all related, they're all married together. It's one big happy elite family. And they say in the Bohemian place, let no webs be woven here. In other words, they don't they don't work together. I mean, they do work together, but it's a different kind of working together than the way we work together. And by the way, just to throw this in, if there are one or two people that want to help us with our ASEA thing, we have a lot of leads, man. It could be a very big business, and this kind of a business where you get paid to help somebody else start a business. That's pretty cool, man. That's a nice model, I think. But so we're talking about pizza, and yeah, I think that old Tuck was, maybe taken off to another country. Maybe went for a little swim in the Gitmo River. But I personally don't think we're going to see him as a vice president or as anything else. I don't think. I think if you do see him, you're going to see like a CGI type thing. They said that he was riding off on his golf cart with his wife of 35 years. I mean, were they both Lizzies? Were they both reptilians? Were they both Nebu? Were they both Illuminati? Were they, probably they all seem to like this pizza stuff. I don't really get it. It's hard for me to understand this. Why pizza, man? Like I said, you know, give me a nice piece of brie, a nice Swiss Lorraine cheese, maybe. I don't know. There's probably even nicer cheeses. How about some cheese fondue instead of pizza? I mean, I'm just saying, there are options, but Mr. T was eating a pizza quite flamboyantly. I think he was sending a signal to the world that you know this pizza thing is something we ought to pay attention to, and it's got to be stopped. All right, so well, that's kind of like my rant. I think that's my rant for the day. So I hope I'll spare you guys any more ranting. The nurses were all dancing, right, and getting big bonuses. Putting people into bags. Is good for business, man. It's like, hey, man, we got another one. Just zip it up tight, man. Send them off to the morgue, and on we go. Now we watch podcasts on YouTube, yeah, but we try to glean some kind of information. I think probably 90% of the information that we're watching is totally useless, but that's just me. I mean, I was watching those thought streams for a long time, and now I've come to the conclusion that it's better to go direct, that it's better to like just be in your own thoughts, that God will tell you exactly what you need. You don't need YouTube. You just need to quiet yourself, to get out of the fear space, to stop criticizing yourself and others, to remove the veils of reality of that's sometimes called your intellect, and just vibrate with the frequency of acceptance and love, and allow for the unfolding of reality to happen before your very eyes. Okay. All right. Sounds good, right? All right. Anyway, just in, U.S. military arms warplanes in the Middle East with bunker buster bombs for the first time in a message to Iran. Do we really have a beef with Iran? Really? I mean, we just gave them beaucoup of cash on pallets, man. What beef do we have? We don't. This is all fake news. It's totally fake news. And they want you to get all juiced up. Jewish people have been so misled by these three-letter agencies. Actually, it's five in Israel, right? MOSS. Six-letter agency in Israel has so misled the world. And with them, the three-letter agency starts with the C, the Fibbies, the MIs, whatever's. These guys have been running the planet in a most disgusting way, to the point that my kid brother, who I mean, I love my brother. I really do. I love my brother. It's We exchanged emails today, and I said, man, what's going down here? He says, oh, it's Russia. Russia. I said, are you kidding me? You've been studying political science for your whole life. You're in your 60s, man. You work for the biggest big shots on the planet, and you really think it's the Russians? I mean, I don't know if he's just saying that. I think he really believes it. I think he really believes that the Russians and the Iranians are the problem. Look over there. Let's have another war. Let's have another party, man. Let's sacrifice another couple of 100,000 young men, handsome young men. Let's send them off to war. Let them get blown up. This is all routine for the deep state elite alliance, Nebu, reptilian, evil, satanic, bohemian type personalities. It's no biggie for them, man. Another war. Come on. We have too much insurance to pay up on. These guys they have to be taken out some way or another, else our insurance companies are gonna go down the tubes. This is a big problem for them. They keep books, they keep records on everything. Remember the Germans? They have a record of everyone they offed during the Second World War. They kept meticulous, just like under the Vatican. Every stick of gold that was stolen from humanity for thousands of years had an ownership on it. They wrote down who really owned it. Sickos, man, sickos. They've been ruling the world for centuries. We had a civilization. I don't know if you call it Atlantis, Lemuria, Tartaria, whatever you want to call it, man. We had free energy. We had unity. We had a spiritual alliance on the planet, and we will again soon. This is not over. This is just, we're in the eye of the storm. This is the storm. All the information is coming out, and not everyone is going to get it. That's what I'm coming to the conclusion. I mean, I'm reaching out a little bit. I'm starting to meet people. I'm looking for love in all the wrong places, but I'm meeting people, and I'm like, you did what? You took this thing, and you have, your whatever is failing. I mean, now it's a mistake, and you're beautiful, and you have a big heart, and you always did what they told you to do. You were the one that sat in the front row. I was always in the back row, man, with the bad guys, but I was in the I tried to play both sides. I'll be honest. I tried to pretend I was a goody goody, and I just couldn't. I've been back and forth my whole life between the two poles. I try to fit into the deep state, and then I'm just after a couple years, I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. So then I go on the other way for a while, and then I come back, and I mean, I've been flip flopping for many decades already, and it's I seem to be reaching a kind of a state of empowerment where I don't feel at this point the need to be normal. I want to be normal like them. I want to get the ouchie. I want to like have serious health problems, and just I mean, I don't know. Listen, man. I mean, I could be collecting a pension now. I worked for 20 years for those. I don't even have a word to describe how I feel about those people. But I don't. It's not a nice word, and I can't really think of any word that would really is is corroded and barnacled enough to really represent the true value that I place on the administrators and the philosophy of education that I dealt with for 20 years that drove me practically insane, and for sure drove my ex-wife insane, that she had to deal with me coming home every night from being chased around by the mice. I mean, the big cats, the cat people, the administrators who were like, oh, yeah, we're gonna take you out, little mouse. You can run, but you can't hide. We know what classroom you're in. We know what you said to those kids. I'm like, yeah, man, I didn't do anything wrong. And they would shift me from school to school. What are we going to do with this guy? And then they would set me up at meetings. They would say, well, what do you think, Mr. Weber? And I'd be like, they're like, yeah, no, really, Mr. Weber, what do you think? I'm like, no, really, Weber, tell us. We really want to know what you think. It's okay. It's good. Everything's good, man. Good. Weber, what do you think? Come on, tell us. Well, if you really want to know. I mean, they would break me down like that. And I'd say, really, I think this is all a bunch of ridiculous garbage. And this has nothing to do with education at all. Okay, you're going to the principal. That's it. You're in trouble now. They would do that to me because I have a sense of right and wrong. And I get upset after, you asked me the same question 15 times. I broke down. I was like, they baited me. And I said, okay, this is nonsense. Okay, and they had it all set up. The principal was already waiting for me in her office. They had the whole committee there waiting for me. So this is what I dealt with for 20 years. And okay, well, let's put them out on the road, man. The rubber room's closed down, so they had to send me out on permanent substitute duty into the worst neighborhoods. But I always got along with the homies, man. I'm like, because you guys are thugs just like me, man. You don't dig this society stuff, man. That they're pumping out. That these people are trying to tell you about that this is education, really. I mean, I went to schools like in the worst neighborhoods in Brooklyn. They had the best computers. They had fanciest computers, the fanciest this, the fanciest that. But the kids, they were spending their days. I don't know what they were watching. They weren't watching anything educational, that's for sure. They were having a good time with the computers, but so they just pumped a lot of money, and a lot of the money went into the bureaucrats' pockets. It didn't go into my pockets. I wasn't hired for the after school program of the year, Oh, Mr. Weber, why don't you teach guitar to the kids? That would last about a day. So anyway, commercials are abusive. Yeah, but sometimes you got to have them. Like on our channel, we have Jay come on, man. And it's like a commercial, but I have to. I'm struggling to pay my bills, man. I want to keep this thought stream alive. This is my whole life. I mean, and it's all of our lives. I just I don't know if you're referring to that, but I'm just, anyway. So yeah, so here they are. They're starting World War III. No biggie, right? Just another world war. China's preparing for war with the West, with Britain. Okay, this is all, okay. Iran, Philippines confronts China. Um, Southeast hackers out. This is obviously one of the dudes, man. I mean, I can tell. I get you just tell by the way they look. They have that kind of smirky, like I'm an elite and you're not kind of look on their face. Now, about those private Gmail drops, selling state secrets is treason. I think they knew that. Fire reported in greater, okay, so they want everyone to look everywhere except for what's really going down. When you search the meaning of biblical names for people in the Bible, sometimes you'd be amazed. Gideon, great destroyer. Abraham, exalted father, because Av means father. When you do it for, okay, so now they're saying, this is Tyranny wanting to take Jewish knowledge and move it over into his thought stream. I mean, this is not called unity, man. Ruvain, behold, the son is born to us. Shimeon, one who hears. Levi, joined in harmony. Yehuda, praise the Lord. Dan, he judged. Naphtali, my struggle. God, good fortune. Asher, happiness. Issachar, his reward will come. Zebulun, dwelling of honor. Joseph, God gave us. Benjamin, son of righteousness. Now let's read this as a sentence. Behold, a son is born to us, one who hears us and joined us in harmony. Praise the Lord. He judged our struggle and brought good fortune and happiness. And they lead it into again the son of God thing. I mean, it's like you just want to create a disunity. Tyranny, I don't get it, but that's their trip, man. It's supposed to be, patriots are supposed to be about unity. I don't know why they constantly want to disunify the religions. And you know what, they don't say at the end, 13 bloodline families were not, it was not in Israel, guys. Where were the 13 bloodline families from? What was the institution near Rome? Was that a Jewish institution? That were the Greeks and Romans Jewish? I don't think so, but that somehow doesn't occur to our friends, the patriots, so-called patriots. But anyway, well, let's not. I'm not going into that one again. Okay, this is interesting. In U.S. corporation contract law, if you're presented with a contract proposal, it's official, no matter if it's an adhesion contract or a negotiated contract. The offer made is an official presentation. The offeree has four choices: one, do nothing; two, accept, sign; three, decline; or four, counter. If you want to make it less formal, you would indeed send an invitation to treat, which is like saying, hey, let's take a look at this, see if it makes sense, and send any feedback, like a movie treatment. Once that's done, an official proposal usually follows. The the offerer can always withdraw the offer before an action takes place on the part of the offeree. If a counteroffer is made, the offeree can no longer withdraw. Both parties are stuck in the process, knowing they can always decline when presented with an offer or a counter. Start talking like this and you lose lots of friends and parties, right? And this is how our world is based on. It's like they write it in language that it's meant to not be understandable. And that's okay, man. That's cool. Cool. Kumbaya, man. This is very interesting. This is kind of a wow. Okay, I'm doing intelligence, by the way. Is anybody? Yeah, we got 400. We don't have a lot of people here. Maybe it's my tone. Um, I don't know. Still, look, I mean, 494, 92 people listening to little old me sitting on this high chair overlooking the water. I mean, I'm not upset. Okay, so the assassination from 1963 referenced in American Pie by Don McLean. I believe American Pie by Don McLean makes a reference to this event. It's the coming of age story as a chronology of the song runs roughly from 1959 to 1971, the year American Pie was released. 71. The song is about disillusion, and each of the song's 6 verses describes a moment of despair, the day the music died for that generation. Most of these moments revolve around music and its potentially redemptive powers. But the song also made cryptic references to larger political issues of the time. In the first verse, the day the music died refers to the plane crash in 1959 that killed Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, all of whom were very young. The Big Bopper was 28, Buddy Holly was 22, and Richie Valens was only 17 when their plane went down, and Buddy Holly had been married for less than 6 months. I can't remember if I cried when I read about the widowed bride. The reference to the president from 63 was in the 6th verse. The 3 men I admire most, here we go again, but I'm not going to say anything about it. The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost caught the last train to the coast the day the music died. On one level, of course, is a reference to Christianity, and the song has already asked the question, do you have faith in God above? The Bible tells you so. But the image of these figures catching the last train for the coast is an expression of loss, and the mournful tone of the verse points to the elimination of the people from 1963, Martin Luther, John, and Robert F., all who were cut down in their prime. As in the first verse, the song emphasizes the tragedy of death at an early age. The president was 46, his brother was 42, and MLK was 39 when they were taken down. Interesting stuff, man. I mean, who didn't listen to the day the music died, American Pie, and wonder? I mean, there was something so captivating about it. It just you knew it was like, it just grabbed you. You knew it was coming from a place of truth. Hypercalcified, you feel like you're no, Timothy, you got it, man. It's not hypercalcified. You just gotta lube it up, man. Drink some ASEA, take some Life Wave, do it, but go exercise, eat good food, think good thoughts, think positive thoughts. All right. Anyway, so that American Pie, that's pretty cool. And there's a picture of it. And then there's a picture of next. There's an X in Mr. JB. So they're saying that the gematria of 94 is guardians, apple pie, guardians, John, judgment, guardians, John Galt, puppy, one of a kind. Um, Korean president grabs the mic at the White House and sings American Pie. I think it's time to flip. Interesting. Don't look over the significance of the song of the president of Korea singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Wow. That is that a calm or what? Oh, what's this? Jerome Powell, not bad for a random guy and his printer. Thank you for 270,000. I'm not sure what they're saying there. I'm not going on that one. There's this thing about the book, The Adventures of Little Baron Trump. Go to the bookstore at exactly 11 tomorrow and check. How do you read the book? How do you know the book? It's a 100-year old book now. My Uncle John. I had a similar dream like it, and it went like this. Don, hey Junior, you got a minute? Sure, Don. What's up? I need to not get on the plane this week. Why? My foot is fine. Don, it doesn't end well. Sound a bit crazy, Don? Time travel isn't possible. Let me prove it by inserting a book into the past. No book named Travels and Adventure of Little Baron Trump. Go to the bookstore. Okay, so is time travel possible? Sounds like it. I don't know. It's a picture of Elon smoking. Is that Elon? I mean, pretty cool, pretty funny. Anyway, guys, I've been blabbing away. I'm sorry. I just, you know, I want to get back to this. The title of this adventure in reality. Friday. It's Friday. Okay, so the stock market is, gold's going down. So you know that something isn't, somebody's in control of this. I don't think it's the bad guys. I think it's the good guys. That's and I think they're in control of Tucker. I think they took him out because he's a guy who really likes his pizza, and there are a lot of military planes in the air. It's Friday. We're coming into a new month. It's a new month on the Jewish calendar. We're cleaning up our mitos. We're cleaning up our act. We're dealing with our personality issues, and we're going to be receiving the Torah. And from there, we come into the promised land. That's nice, Frank Davis. I like that, man. If it was a little warmer here, I would be doing the same. It's still a little cold. It's cold out there. Hey, Cheryl Ann, you nearby? Come on over, babe. I'm kidding. I'm not really kidding, but I am kidding. I've managed to embrace celibacy for a while because I feel like this is an important thing to do. Um, I think God knows that I don't do romance. I don't take romance lightly. I get very involved, and it definitely I would not be able to do what I do if I was in love, man. You would not see me. I don't think. I don't know if maybe I'm different now. Maybe I'm strong enough, but in the past, man, there's a reason why I'm sitting up here alone, I think. But thanks, Charlene. I really appreciate it. At least I can like dream about it. Anyway, yeah, I know, Chosen. I'll never be a normie. I have tried. I really tried hard a couple of times in my life. When I was a pre med at University of Rochester, I really tried hard, man. I studied all the time. It just wasn't enough. And I tried it when I married my first wife. We bought a house in Port Washington. I had a company. I had a little construction company. I was going to just be a normal person, but God had other plans. Yeah, homeless star seeds need shelter too. Yeah. No, I think it's good to look backward. I'm celebrating. I celebrate. I don't think, I like to look back because it brings me forward. I like to revel in the way that God takes care of me, and God has brought me through trials and tribulations into this glorious moment where I can, like, look out my window and see the ocean and hear the waves. When I'm in my bed at night, I can hear the waves. I mean, how beautiful is that? Anyway, I'm not worried, Billy D. Um, Normal must be so boring. I don't know, man. I think, people who are normal, they like it. Except what happened was the normies got this big time. They went out and got it. They got the extra one. They got the extra one. They said whatever Doctor F wants, man, I'm going to do it. And then they now they're dealing with serious issues, and they're saying to themselves, why did I do that? What? Why? Cats are alien. I believe that. I believe that could totally be. Anyway, they told us they were doing the right thing. I feel sorry for them. Yeah, I feel sorry for them too, man. I mean, they're not bad people. They're not. These are not evil people. These are people that they were the goody goodies who did what the teachers told them to do, while the rest of us were going like this. You know, um, and and in the end, God is rewarding us for being ourselves, for not going along with the evil plan. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I know this is all true. Listen, man, they told me, man. They said you're never going to work again, Weber. You're out. You're done. Your life is over. I was like, okay, I'll stick with. I'm with God, man. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. You guys, uh, yeah, it is deep trauma. I mean, we've been rejected by everyone, but the despised cornerstone. There's a line in Tehillim in Psalms. The despised cornerstone is now the foundation stone. So you and I on this channel are rebuilding the world one human being at a time, and everyone who comes here and everyone who gets the cures, the life wave and the Sia and the mental cures of just being in with positive people who did not. Some of us did submit, but most of us did not submit to their horrific measures. I mean, but I listen. I was vaccinated when I was a kid. They've been doing this a long time. I don't know if I'm totally free of those nanoparticles. Who knows? I hope the Joe Jab will be okay too, man. But I spoke to somebody yesterday, and she's got, like, serious issues, man. I'm just like, and she says, I wish I hadn't done it. And I'm like, you know, I don't know what to tell people. We did intel. Hadassah, what do you think I was reading from? Come on, man. Why are you paying bills? Ay, ay, ay. I thought about working on the racehorses while I'm in San Antonio. Yeah, because we're coming to the end of this. We started what, at a quarter of no, we started at 11. Okay, so it's not quite the end. Avalanche D5 coming, yeah. I mean, it's got to come eventually. Now, there's a thought that I had yesterday that's, I think, an interesting thought. It could be that the normies will never notice the transition. They'll either fall into it, or they'll be watching their cell phones while it happens, and they'll just kind of like tumble into the new age. They may not even ever wake up. They'll just fall. Hopefully they'll fall in the right direction. What's this? Here's some intel. The president of Korea singing American Pie. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. I mean, it's, I don't know. I think, we believe it's coming to something really good. Thank you, Mio. I mean, I don't think they're harmful ways. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm certainly not pushing fast foods on you guys, and I use it myself, and I use it on my own mom. So, I'm not a sales type person. I'm not a good, it's very hard for me. I was taught by my mother, my mother, my mother's father was a successful businessman, and my mother had an issue with it. They were all commies. I grew up with communists, and they were all like, embarrassed about making money, and it was bad, and people, But at the end of the day, they all seemed to didn't have a problem living in the houses that these rich dudes bought. So every solid white chicken I had was named Esther. Yeah, I'm finding Dory. I love you for having this opinion, but it's just not a, it's not a Jewish thought, and it doesn't really help with unity. I mean, if you love Jesus, God, gesundheit hate, that's wonderful, but Jewish people just don't. It's not for us. We're not into it, and I think at the end of the day, I think even he said, I mean, I didn't study his work, but I mean, even he said you have to go direct. You got to connect. You have to do it yourself. So I don't know. I don't know. You check out Tuvia Singer if you want to understand how Jewish people feel about it. But there are a lot of people that I meet on the channel who really don't even know there's another way, who think that that's the only religion in the world. And if you don't believe that, and that's, you can't hold them accountable for having that opinion. They were trained that, like, if a lot of people live in, small towns, and they were told, that's it, man. They didn't say, oh, you could be Muslim, or you could be Jewish, or you could be Hindu, or you could be, you know Zen Buddhist. No, it was just, there was only one way. You can't blame those people. You must listen to me. Yeah, talking about religion should not divide us. See, I'm so happy. I met him. He's a nice guy, and I hope my ideas are incorporated. I don't have a patent out on my ideas. My ideas are simple. But we can't fight about religion. We can't fight about countries. We can't say Iran. We got to. My brother, my little kid brother, my little brother hangs out with presidents. I don't know if he hangs out with Mr. T, but he's for sure hung out with BO. I have pictures of him flying on the same plane together and sitting at the same table together. He really told me this morning it's all about Russia. I'm like, you went to the best colleges. You've been in the agency for your whole life. You were the assistant secretary of state. He was the assistant secretary of state under BO, in charge of biological, nuclear, and chemical weapons. He was like the top dog in the world. And you still think it's about Russia? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's about unity. It's about, at the end of the day, it's about unity, man. Yeah, thank you, Derek Johnson. If you do listen to me, man, I met you. I shook your hand. I told you that the name of the dude you were talking about was Nakshan. I don't know if you remember. I went to a, Patriot tour. It's a nice, sort of totally nice guy, and I love your music. I mean, I love music also, but yeah, I mean, it's all about, yeah. I thank you, Derek Johnson. If you're listening, man, I really appreciate it. It's not my idea, man. I mean, I got no patent on it. I'm not selling books on unity and religion. But at the end of the day, man, you know, how many rabbis are out here saying, Christians and Jews need to say kumbaya? I don't know. Maybe there are a lot, but I'm not a rabbi. I'm not even a rabbi. But I'm just saying that if, this kind of message, I mean, this was the Rebbe was all about the Noahide laws. I mean, I know it's a little bit insulting, because really we are all Noahides, in that it says to follow the Noahide laws, to be a righteous Gentile, you have to have courts of justice. The Jewish people, the whole world, does not have courts of justice. This is not, the Noahide laws are not just for non-Jews, it's for everybody. Um, and it's not a replacement for the Ten Commandments. That's a misinterpretation. But I mean, how cool is that a guy from Korea singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie"? I don't know. I know I'm all over the place, guys, but thank you for telling me about Derek Johnson. That really makes me feel good. That that the word is getting out. And it's not my word. It's God's word. And we need to go direct. Even if you have a religion, even if you're a, Hasidic dude living in Borough Park or living in Williamsburg, and you got your Rebbe, and you have your practice, you can still go direct. My Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson said, "You're not eating my shirayim." All the other Hasidic groups, the big rabbi, the Rebbe, the spiritual leader, touches all the food, and then everybody eats the food, and they get the holiness that way. The Rebbe said, "No, no, 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 no. You're not going to eat my food. You're going to go direct. You're going to study yourself. You're going to learn yourself." It says in Tanya, I'm on another rant now. It says in Tanya, the mystic Judaism, this thing is very close to you. He was talking about connecting to godliness. It's very close to you. All you have to do is remove the veils. It's not easy. It's easy to say. It's not so easy to do, but it's really not so hard either. It takes time, it takes practice. But once you stop criticizing yourself, you again? No, relax. Okay, we dealt with this last night. Just chill, all right? Listen, I'm almost done already. You could go at me later, man. I mean, see that? The demon of doubt. He comes even to me, man. Even I have to deal with this nonsense. Even a big dude like me, right? Oh, 5'7" of me, man, 140 pounds, huge guy like me, man. I have to deal with the demon of doubt. Yes, just relax, all right? Go read do a crossword puzzle or something. Elites like crossword puzzles, right? I have an elite demon of doubt. Actually, I do, because I grew up in a fancy neighborhood, and it's like, well, what college are you going to? And I'm like, I'm 6 years old, for God's sakes. Well, what college am I going to? Are you kidding me? I'm not even in second grade. But that was the consciousness of where I grew up, and that was like they were focused on it, man. It was, and then when I dropped out at 19, I was like, I'm not doing this, man. I'm going to Nashville. I want to play music. Another insane quest of mine, like Don Quixote goes off to Nashville. I mean, um, JB is, yeah, I don't even think he's a clone. I think it's an actor, but he doesn't really sound anything like the real JB. The real JB was a sinister dude, criminal. QFS, baby, yeah. All right, so it's our personal walk, yeah. No one else needed. Exactly right. Cheryl Ann, and yeah, send me your phone number, babe. Let's see if we can. I'm kidding. All right. Anyway, Zimbabwe central bank to issue gold-backed digital tokens from May 8th. So that could be very good for the Zims. I don't know. Heads are rolling. Who is this? I have a guess, but I want to hear yours. What is this? Heads are rolling. That's the. All right, here, I'll read one more comment. Hadassah Ariel, Moldova is now Russia. Country of Moldova does not exist anymore. DeSantis, Knights of Columbus, signing deals with. Derek, man, we got to talk. Man, some of our peeps here, man, some of our big shots on the information streams are like a little bit parochial. Is that the word? I mean, a little bit. They're a little bit wanting to push an agenda on people that we don't need this. We don't need division. Okay, anyway, the Vatican. Oh, the Vatican. Oh, yeah. Oh, that. Oh, I thought it was Israel that was the problem. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. The but the Vatican is controlled by Tuscan Italian Jews, the real truth. Okay, so now we got it. The Vatican is Jewish too. Everything evil in the world is Jewish, according to Tyranny and Whiplash and um, Marilyn, whatever her name is, Marilyn Chambers. According to these sources, which are actually good info sources, it's all about guys like me, man. I mean, we got That's like that's like the two Jewish guys on the park bench, right? They're reading newspapers. One has I forget the guy that Malcolm X was friends with, whatever that guy's name was. One of the Jewish guys is reading that paper, and the other guy is reading like you know Jewish the Jewish press. And Irving says to Morty, he's like, "What are you doing? You're reading a Farrakhan. You're reading Farrakhan's paper." I know I've told this joke before, but th- this relates to these so-called patriots. Um, you're reading Farrakhan's paper. He says, "Yeah, man, I got the good news here. Listen to this: the Jews run the world. The Jews have all the money. The Jews are in control of everything." This is from Farrakhan, man. Why shouldn't I read good news? What are you reading? You're reading the Jewish press. We're being massacred here. Another 100 people killed off there. They got, they stabbed little ones over. I mean, this is what, So here now they're saying the Vatican is Jewish. I mean, can you guys get any more obvious? Derek, you got to back me on this one, man. If you're listening, this is just not kosher. It's not kosher. It's not. It's not. One thing to say the Mossad, but then to say the Vatican, I mean, okay, whatever, man. It's called Satanist. They're not Jewish. They are Satanist. It's a big difference. The Vatican is controlled by that's the real truth. The Orsini family. Oh, now we hear. Now they put out their name. Now we hear their name. Oh, they're Jewish. Now we can tell you their name. The other 11, 13, the other 12 families. Shh, let's not go there. Let's not go there. We could still blame the Jews, guys. Even we could still create a little bit of division in the patriot world. We don't have to really unify anymore. Okay, we can all come together and get rid of those people. Okay, so trains, planes, and automobiles, get ready, America. Airports, education, health, business, government. Good morning, America. Just in, Lloyds Bank, Halifax, and TSB are down to having major issues logging on. Bank of Scotland and everything just in. U.S. military arms warplanes in the Middle East with bunker busters, right? For Iran. This is the link to the military. Okay, Fed admits to failings in Silicon Valley bank oversight. Really? You think? You think there was some oversight? The Fed? The Fed would make a mistake? Oh, I'm not sure, man. It's like the Vatican, man. The Vatican, except when the Jews get involved, then I'm sure the Fed is also run by the Jews as well. Even though Jewish people can't get into WASPy country clubs, well, how could that be? How could that be if we're running the world? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I got to think about this. Maybe I have to go back to college to figure this one out. Um, Death before coronation, 2 days before the event. Or is Diana before Charles? Will Prince Andrew go before the king? William will dissolve the royals. Okay, so this is a lot of good stuff. Hadassah Ariel, I hope you're happy. We did some real intel. Corinth, Mississippi. Corinth is on the Tennessee River. Lightning has struck the Columbia Gulf gas pipeline, causing a massive fiery explosion. Wow, listen to this. Breaking news on French TV. Scandal in the UK. Huge child ring brought down includes 76 politicians, 43 artists, and 35 journalists, 100,000 little ones involved, right? Tyranny, man. Listen, Derek, if you're listening, man, we got to unify on this, man. It's got to be. It can't be Christians against Jews anymore. We can't go that. That's like Israel against Iran. It's just another. It's more fake news. We do not have a beef. Christians and Jews. Look at this channel, man. There are a lot of Christians. There are a lot of Jewish people. There's a mixture of all kinds of different people. We all get along because we know the truth. The truth is, it's not about us fighting. It's about a real satanic force that steals our children, and they want us to look at each other and look at Iran and look at Korea and look at World War III instead of looking at the real enemy, which is the Satan. Not Jewish, guys, not Jewish. Derek, you understand what I'm saying, man? I take this personal. I mean, I identify as being a Jewish person. Okay, that's it. I'm not. Am I the best Jew in the world? No. Am I a rabbi? No. But I'm Jewish, and as such, I'm trying to figure out which end, how the world is being run. And, everybody on the inside, all these big players, all these elites, they want us to still fight with each other. And it's not about each other, it's about looking at the real problem, which is the Satanists. The Satanists like to divide and conquer, and we ain't buying it, man, because we are resonating with the frequency of unity, of love, of caring for each other, of live long and prosper, of helping each other prosper. We're going to work together to make money and do the right things and bring ourselves good health and not listen to these people who have nothing but destruction in mind for the good people of the planet. We ain't buying it anymore. That's the bottom line. You learned about the kids. I know it's horrifying. I know it's so bad. It's so bad. It's just so bad. Yeah. I mean, we just have to stay unified. We have to stay strong. And all these things are coming out. We're in the storm, we're in the flood, and the information is going to get stronger and stronger. And pretty soon people will not be able to look away and say, that's a conspiracy. You know, the country V near Rome, that's not a conspiracy. The Orsini family, now we find out they're not Jewish. If they worship Satan, they are not Jewish, period. Okay? Tyranny, you can't do it. This is the first time I've heard them even admit that the Vatican has anything to do with problems on the earth. It's all about the Jews. It's all about Israel, about Mossad. We don't mention our own religion. But until you clean up your own side of the fence, man, and until we unite, the peeps on my channel do not have a problem. We do not have an issue getting along. We understand we can be different and still be together. And that's what the dudes fear the most, because when humanity unifies, the ripples from our unification will resonate like tsunami and take out. You see, 100,000 kids, man, 100,000, and wipe out this satanic force from the planet once and for all. Okay. Anyway, have a great Shabbos. Have a great weekend. I love you guys. I don't mean to be harsh to anyone here, or anyone anywhere. Even if you're on the other side, man, we have a big tent. We can include everyone. We are all together on this, but we are not supporting the Satanists. We are not supporting doing horrific things to human beings. We don't buy that. We don't like that. And you can hide it. You can pretend it. You can start wars. You can just collapse the economy. You can try to get us into more and more debt slavery, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, man, we on this channel and we in the world and the good people of the world understand that this is God's world. This is God's world. Okay. God does not charge me taxes. God does not put me into debt slavery over credit cards. God does not charge me every time I get into, I don't have a car, but let's say if I did have a car, God does not charge insurance. Okay. All these structures are going down big time. You're not going to have insurance in the future. You're not going to have hospitals that do evil things to people. You're going to have love and brotherhood, prosperity, cleanliness, environmental things that make sense. We're going to live with nature. We're going to live with, we were talking this morning about Iceland. We're going to live with the elves, the little elves, the elfish, the little ones. I mean, we're going to be one planet of, they were saying in the Iceland thing, I'll go off to one story, that Danielle was saying that they were trying to build a road in a certain direction, but apparently that's where all the elves lived. So their machines were all breaking. They couldn't make the road through this place. So they eventually, The people of Iceland, who are apparently very spiritual, built a road around this village of little ones. So anyway, call me crazy, man. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right, Carol. It's the same text, it's the same book. I mean, I don't know what part of their own Bible they don't understand. They're all saying the Balfour Declaration is over. It's like we did not get Israel from the Balfour Declaration. We got it from God in the Old Testament, which is your first book. All right. Anyway, uh, yeah, I'm gonna have a great day, man. It's a day of rest for me. I'm gonna go to the grocery store, get a nice piece of salmon, and chill out. I got some leftovers, some last Shabbos. I'm gonna heat up for this Shabbos, but I'll be going. I'm gonna be going on a trip soon, and I'm gonna continue with my broadcasting, except on the travel days. But just know, man, you guys are loved, man, and everything we do here is going to ripple out and spread across the planet, and nothing can stop what's coming. Yeah, I'll tell Gila that you love her. She's amazing. She's an amazing person. We identified her as my muse. I can't function without my muse. It's all good. Yeah. All right, guys. So Julian gives you comfort, but I'm a soldier. Yeah. I want to be in the business of justice and those who did it. Yeah. Yeah. Time to end. Exactly right. Gillian Whip, man. This is the first time I saw your name. How cool, man. Totally cool. All right, guys. So anyway, have a great weekend. And it's hard for me to say goodbye to you guys. I love doing this, and I love being with you. And I love the fact that we are creating a new world, and that nothing can stop what's coming. You bad dudes, man, you're going down, and we're taking over in a beautiful way, all together, arm in arm. Christians, Jews, everything. We don't care. Black, white, green, whatever you are, man. It's all good as long as you don't hurt people, and as long as you don't try to steal our money all the time. Okay, we're simple people. We just want to have a nice family-ish life. In my case, I want to, of course. Yeah, okay, relax. Just okay. I don't want to get it. I better cut out. Right. We'll talk in a minute. All right. Okay. See you guys later.